This is Young TP. You are listening to your Don't Listen podcast. Stop playing.
Yo, 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 yo. Damn, my camera all messed up. I'm sorry, good people. What is good? What is good? What is good? It don't seem like nothing's good, right? You know, we are in a day, we are in an age where, it's those times where you be like, I never thought it'd get like this. I never thought America will become a symbol of tyranny and infamy in the world. But lo and behold, here we are. It is really, truly happening. We are under attack as citizens. Our democracy is under attack. I never, ever thought that I would say, I don't know if I want to be here. I don't know if I want to live here. But we're going to get to it today. We're going to get to it today. All I need all you good people out here to do is subscribe to the channel. It don't cost you a thing. This is the Don't Listen podcast with your boy TP. Stop playing, right? I know y'all ain't heard that in a while. And I see a lot of people saying it now. There you go. But at the end of the day, we here, we back. And a lot of it got to do with my son. My younger son, he like, hey, Dad, when you gonna pod, man? I really enjoy watching. So I'm gonna thank him for giving me put a little motor in my butt and my back and get me moving. But I've been paying attention. I've really been paying attention, and I just didn't have the drive to do it. I needed to take a break. But I'm back. I am back, and I'm ready to get busy. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. And, I'm going to start it off with what's going on right now out there in California. This regime, I'm not going to call them an administration because when I think about an administration, I'm thinking about an administration that's going to be presidential, that's going to hold a standard that any other democracy around the world will look at and say, you know what, I want to be like that. We used to be that at some point in my lifetime. We used to be like that. We used to have admiration around the world where other countries will emulate us or emulate our democracy, will emulate our leaders. And there's some out here that's emulating our leader, but in a bad way, right? The right wing in this country has really gone bat-ish crazy. Bat-ish crazy. And the reason why I say that is because of the big, great deal, right? The really great big deal, whatever the bill they passed in Congress, they done lost their damn mind. Because in order for you to call yourself a government, you're supposed to be representative of the people. They forgot the people put them in power. I don't think they forgot. I think they don't care. honestly think that is the case. I think they got so comfortable in their positions and just like, oh, I don't care what the people think. We're going to do this. But it has to be some reckoning come the midterms. There has to be. It has to be some reckoning come the midterms. And this is not a Democrat or a Republican thing. This is a people thing. Because I don't know if anybody signed up for this. I'm about to show you a clip. And we're going to talk about it after I show it. Because I never thought I would ever see this. You know? Let's watch.
Tonight, the Trump administration says the California National Guard will be deployed to Los Angeles County as large protests against immigration raids continue. CBS News reports about 400 people attended a protest in the city of Paramount today after an apparent ICE detainment operation. This comes a day after some demonstrators clashed with law enforcement in Los Angeles. About 44 people were detained by ICE. Following today's demonstrations, President Donald Trump called for the federal government to step in, accusing California Governor Gavin Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass of not doing their jobs. Governor Newsom says the federal government taking over the California National Guard by ordering to deploy 2,000 soldiers will only escalate tensions. He says law enforcement is already meeting all of the city's needs in this situation. Now, ICE says its agents have detained 118 people in Los Angeles County this week. One person has been taken to the hospital after federal agents fired non-lethal munitions. No other injuries were reported and no arrests among the protesters have been reported at this time. Tonight, the Trump administration said.
All right. Okay. I said stop sharing. Why did they do that? Yeah. Okay. So the federal government, led by the butthole in chief, Donald Trump, is now deploying the military against its own citizens. Now, I don't know if any of you people that voted for him signed up for that. Because little do you know, if this is a thing and it's going to be a thing, you think it's going to stop there? You think it's just going to stop at the immigrants, right? And it's not just really immigrants out there, it's actual American citizens protesting, which is in our Constitution, that people have the right to gather and protest. Freedom of speech, supposed to be a thing in this country. It's the First Amendment, freedom of speech. And it's your right to be able to gather and protest. But not to this regime. You aren't allowed to have any dissent against what's going on. You have no ability to say you don't like any of his proposals, any of his bills, any of his legislation that he's coming up. You're not allowed to talk about him in any kind of way that's bad. Because he's such a non-man that anything you say about him will put his panties in a bunch. Will put his panties in a bunch. And he just might call out the National Guard on you. Now, the problem that I got is the civility that Democrats show to a person that has none. Why y'all still got the gloves on? With the kid gloves, they don't want to say anything against this man because it seemed like they all scared, like he got something on me. What is he going to say? Is he going to pull out the Epstein files? I don't think he will, because his own boy Elon Musk said that's the reason why I ain't coming out, because he in it. So I wouldn't worry about that. But when are we going to have politicians that we vote into power to have a goddamn spine and say, this is not right? Don't just do it with this, though, because we getting at this part right here, but actually standing up. They are arresting mayors. They are arresting congressmen. ICE is almost like the Gestapo. Stop playing. I'm not playing. ICE is like the Gestapo. They like Trump's little do boys. Yeah, lock them up. The Congress has the right to do oversight. Is part of their duty is to go see what ICE is doing. And we had representatives from New Jersey go in there and check out what ICE was doing. They messed around and arrested the mayor. Tried to arrest some congresswomen, women too. And then they tried to say that these Congress people was assaulting ICE officers. Really? We saw the video. That ain't what happened. But this is the administration that these people voted for. Y'all signed up for that? Y'all signed up for your representatives to be arrested by a rogue regime. You signed up for that? Because if you did, you're getting what you asked for. And a lot of you people that voted for him, you are getting what you asked for. You're getting cuts to Medicaid. That's what you asked for. You're getting cuts to Social Security. You're getting cuts to education. The Department of Education. They are cutting the Department of Education. So all these years, and they talk about we gonna make the schools better. Using our tax money too, by the way. We gonna make the schools better. But y'all don't need no school. We gonna cut it, and we gonna have in some of the poorest neighborhoods the lowest performing kids that ever existed. We're gonna do that under the Trump regime. Yeah, they like to say the teachers ain't doing their job, which is bull crap, because I know a couple that are phenomenal in their job. And you know, they trying to take nurses out of the schools. They cutting teachers. Y'all signed up for that? In New Jersey, taking millions of dollars out of the education system. I wonder why. I know why. I wonder why, but I know why. Because it's a few billionaires and millionaires out here that want their tax cut. They want their tax cut. They gave Trump his marching orders before he became president. They said, you want some of our money for your campaign? This is what we want. We want that tax cut reinstated. We need it bigger than it was the last time, and we don't care what you got to cut to do it. So all these people out here that's getting ran over, all these low earning people out here getting ran over, getting stuff taken away from them, is in order so these rich people can have their tax cuts, because that's what was promised by Trump. He said, listen, y'all get me back in there. Guess what's going to happen? I'm going to give y'all all them tax cuts that you wanted. Corporations, don't worry about it. I got you too. all the tax cuts that y'all wanted, we're going to give it to you. And then once we give it to y'all, we're going to take everything away from regular folk, hard-working people. All you hard-working people that voted for him, did y'all sign up for that? Did you sign up for your mothers, your grandmothers, kids with disabilities losing out? They didn't wreak havoc, took money away from cancer research for pediatric kids. Y'all signed up for that? Did you? Did you sign up for that? Did you sign up for Meals on Wheels that provides meals to the elderly? Did you sign up for that to go away? What about our veterans? The right wing want to talk about how much they love the troops. They cut money from the vets too. Did you sign up for that? Tell me if you did. Write it down in the comments. They there. They gonna be there. They there. You signed up for that? To screw over the troops? The ones that really keep us safe? Not these crazy people that's ordering them to do stuff to their own citizens? Did you sign up for that? Huh? I would like to know. At the end of the day, we are living under a regime, a tyrannical regime. People that was hit by natural disasters. People in states that's red and voted for Trump. Y'all don't need FEMA. Y'all don't need nothing. You don't need FEMA. FEMA is there to help people in need when natural disasters happen or accidental disasters happen. FEMA is there to help people, no matter if you in a red state or in a blue state. It's part of our federal government. That's part of a guarantee that we supposed to have as citizens of this country. When you have a problem that's out of your control, a natural disaster, an accidental, catastrophe, the government's gonna come in and help you get whole. Donald Trump said y'all don't need that no more. Red states, not just blue states, red states. Did y'all sign up for that? You know, I don't want to hear nobody talking about ain't no racism involved, because it always seemed to only be brown people that this ire that come down on. Because you don't believe me, listen to this news report. I ain't gotta lie. Let's see what the news reports say, because I'm just gonna keep it 100. You ain't gonna just say it came out of my mouth. So let's look at this video.
Well, news just in from the US, and President Trump has signed a proclamation banning foreign nationals from several countries from entering the US. The ban fully restricts and limits the entry of nationals from 12 countries, including Afghanistan, Haiti, Iran, Sudan and Yemen. The entry of people from 7 other countries will also be partially restricted.
Look, these countries are basically failed nations. They have no ability to vet who's leaving their country. We're not.
First of all, listen to who he say is a failed nation. You got to sit on here and with the audacity to say these countries are failed nations. Look at America right now. You don't think this is a failed nation? You got a very slim minority, which is the rich and corporations, running roughshod and and chartering legislation that they are getting done by an administration that said they was going to drain the swamp at one point. But listen to this jerk right here talking about they are failed states. It's a failed state right here. You got the minority running the majority. Because I don't care what nobody say. Nobody say. Let me just finish this and then we're going to finish talk about it.
Not going to put American citizens in jeopardy. And for the first time in 4 years, we have a president that actually cares about American citizens, that's willing to protect us and defend this country.
Right, so leaving it to an Ohio senator to make that announcement, Trump not doing it himself. But of course, during his first term in office, America's commander-in-chief announced the ban on travellers from 7 majority Muslim nations.
Okay.
Well, news just in from the US and President...
With this imbecile, with this imbecile coming out and saying failed states, it looked like we living in one right now. Oh yeah, a recession is coming. These tariffs, already you can see on the shelves, the prices is going up. Prices is going up. I wanted to go get a USB cord the other day. Used to be $12.99. That thing $21 now. In the same store, I got it for $12.99. Oh yeah, tariffs is real, and it's coming. Everything you pay for at a price that you could manage, it's gonna get even worse. Because a lot of people already is feeling the pinch. A lot of people ain't making no money out here, right? But here you got these tariffs, you got all these government spots coming through and just taking your money. And they act like you out here doing rich, like you rich. You're a millionaire, billionaire. If you was that, you wouldn't care about no tariffs. Because that's what it is, people. The tariffs ain't going to affect the people that can afford paying 50% more of what they've been paying. It's going to affect the poor, the medium income people that's just scraping by to get by. You're going to have to work 2-3 jobs, and good luck finding that second or third job. You got AI coming, and it's going to take a whole lot of white collar jobs right up out of the mix, low entry ones. Oh yeah, you great figure it out. You gonna mess around and find out. Oh yeah, you gonna mess around and find out too, because these people do not care about any of us, and that's something that I have seen in recent history. Like, back in the day, the politicians would at least pay it lip service. Yeah, we're going to help you. We're going to get it right for you. Now they don't even care. They don't even care. With this Republican senator the other day, they was like, if you take Medicare from people are going to die. She turned around and said, we're all going to die. What? Is that the response you want from your congressperson or senator? We're all going to die. What? Because y'all doing something that don't have to happen. People are going to die because of it, and you're going to say we're all going to die. And your constituents ask that question. So that should tell you what your representative think about you. These people you voted in. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I watched quite a few content creators, and a lot of them says, or a roundabout way, probably not as you know, straight to the point as I do. A lot of these commentators like to dance around the point now. But we ain't living in those times where you could just keep on dancing. You got to get straight to the point and tell people the truth about what's going on. They are really trying to make it so hard in order for you to make it in this society. It's going to create all kind of different issues where the poor are going to feed on the poor and the rich going to get behind their gates and keep us all out like they already doing now. But it's going to be at a whole different level. Because remember, a lot of people don't even got to leave their house to get stuff delivered to them anymore. They could just sit in their house and order shit online all day. Never got to come out. But the people that got to go to work every day, we got to worry about all these people who going to be out here suffering, and they going to try to get it any way they can get it. We going to have to deal with those people. People going to literally be looking at other people like they food, because we living in an administration that don't give a damn about none of their constituents. Representatives that we voted in office that don't care nothing about their constituents. A cousin of mine in this last election, he said, "Cuz, man, I don't even got the energy to go out and vote. I'm not voting no more." I said, "Cuz, this shit is important. We cannot let this man get back in office." Tell me why. I told him why. He got up and voted. A lot of people went out and voted. And what the Democrats need to stop doing is blaming it on the voters. Your record speaks volumes on yourselves for the ineptitude that you portrayed when you was in there. People want change. They want better lives. And we keep getting a little bit up, all the way down. We got a few fighters out here that's fighting. Representative Jasmine Crockett comes to mind. She gives no F's about what she says to these people. She gives them the truth to their face. And if your Democratic senator is not fighting, your congresswoman is not fighting like, or congressman is not fighting the way she is, they need to go. They need to go. We need people that's going to fight for us when they in office and give people the truth and stop saying, it's a little bit of good with the bad. It is not no good with the bad. It's no time to be holding back, biting your tongues to these people that's just trying to rape the system. The emoluments clause been violated so many times by this man. He need to be impeached. His own boy, Elon Musk, said he need to be impeached. And they was just boys a week ago. If this bill pass, where they giving all these tax cuts to the rich like they did before, we're going to hit a recession. And it's not going to be bad for the rich. They're going to enjoy it. But everything else they taking away from us so they can pay for this tax cut. That's what this plan is. That's what that bill is. And this is what they wanted from the start. Don't let them tell you anything different. There's nothing in this plan or in this bill that's going to help average citizens or even higher wage citizens. It's nothing's going to help poor Americans. Everything is catered to the rich. Everything is catered to corporate America. And if you don't believe it, man, you just don't want to see it. The proof is in the pudding. I don't know what more that man got to show anybody. But we're going to listen to some Jasmine Crockett because I just love her energy. And we're going to listen to her because she get busy up in here. I appreciate a person that's out here actually trying to fight. So we got a couple.
While some Republicans are defending President Trump's actions, my next guest is apologizing to the world. Jasmine Crockett is a Democratic congressman from Texas and sits on the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees. And I'm awfully glad to have you here because I read what you said, apologizing to the world. And I want to go deeper into it because you said, I'm sorry that the bright light America used to be is dimming. Why did that whole interaction seem to be so distant for you, for what the U.S. stands for?
Besides the fact that we're talking about an ally, we're talking about Ukraine, a country that was invaded. First, it started off with trying to change the facts. We don't live in a world of alternative facts, trying to change the reality of who invaded who. After we kept saying that Trump was nothing but Putin's puppet, we kept saying that he was palling around with Putin. We've said it all kinds of ways, but this comes at the heels of the UN voting with Russia. This also then is an opportunity for Trump to show that no, America knows who our friends are and we're going to stand with those friends. And unfortunately, he decided that he wanted to talk about his clothes. Now, maybe this is because Trump never wanted to go serve his country. And right now, the only service that he's giving to us is driving our country apart. But I'm sorry, when you're at war, you're not worried about your outfit. That is what we call a privilege, number one. Number two, to say, oh, what can you afford? Well, if he was walking around in the fanciest suits, I'm sure that they would accuse him of taking our dollars and spending it on his wardrobe and being more concerned about that. Listen, this is a no-win situation when you're walking in with someone who has decided that he is going to align himself with a dictating thug.
Okay, so to that end, we know before the exchange, what was supposed to happen was there was going to be the signing of this preliminary mineral deal, at least, right? Aiming to end the war, but without Trump committing to any security guarantees. I mean, you say that peace should not have a price tag, but there are some Republicans, as you know, and the president claiming that, oh, you know what, America is being taken advantage of here. Is there a middle ground we can get to?
There's not a middle ground with this president. He has no intentions of doing right by, number one, the United States. I appreciate what the former governor was saying. We are in a national security crisis. We have been in a national security crisis ever since, honestly, before he even ran. We know that he had our national secrets stored at Mar-a-Lago. People felt like that wasn't really a big deal. They wanted to compare it to what was going on with Joe Biden. We know that he was showing this to people that maybe weren't supposed to see our national security secrets. We know that he is consistently engaged in questionable deals as it relates to our emoluments clause when he was in the first go round. Next thing you know, his son-in-law was getting a lot of money from the Saudis as soon as they walked out. And so right now, and not to mention, he has decided that his DOJ will not prosecute cases that engage in any type of foreign nefariousness when it comes to getting money. So unfortunately, we have someone that is occupying the White House. And as far as I'm concerned, he is an enemy to the United States. He swore an oath just like the rest of us. But right now, when you are literally putting us at risk, all because of what? Because you want to convince your followers that you should be a dictator too, that you should never leave the White House, because you don't believe that elections should take place. I don't really understand what is going on, and I don't know what it's going to take to get people to wake up. We are not living in a safe country when we decide that we are going to weaken our national security by getting rid of those that are watching our nuclear stockpile, by giving everything over to a private friend known as Elon Musk. We are getting rid of all of the inspector generals. And so there's literally a lack of checks and balances all around us. And then we have somebody who's sending his vice president out to offend our allies in Europe. Listen, the way that I used to explain this on the trail when I was campaigning for Madam Vice President is I would say, listen, it's kind of like the schoolyard. when you go to school and everybody knows that your siblings are at the same school, or they know that your cousins are at the same school, then they may not pick a fight with you, because they know that if they pick a fight with you, they got to pick a fight with your whole family. But when you're like me, an only child, they may decide to pick a fight with you because they're like, there's nobody that is going to back her up when we get to the playground. Right now, he's trying to put us into a situation to where we will be the only ones on the playground when you're going out talking about you're going to go into Canada, when you're going out and you're talking about Mexico. Listen, Zelensky is right. He doesn't have the privilege that we have. We've got water on each side, and we used to have friends on the north and south. He doesn't have that privilege. And so I really want America to wake up, because it should not be partisan. Be the selfish people that we love to be in America.
Yeah.
Worry about your safety.
You mentioned Elon Musk, which brings me to those federal employees that are receiving that. These are emails again this weekend, demanding, asking, whatever, that they sum up what they did last.
We're not going to keep going with that. We're going to stop all that. Okay? We're going to stop all that, because I know everybody pressed for time. But the representative hitting all the points that I was making. Like, this is not a time to be silent and not say what your eyes are seeing, because people going to be feeling this. If you don't say what you see, you're going to be feeling it. It's not the time to be silent. If all you could do is talk, that's the least you can do, right? If that's all you could do, that's the least you can do, then get busy. That's why I'm back. That's why I'm back. We're going to talk about other stuff too, not just the Trump administration. But at the end of the day, if you don't speak truth to power, you're going to always be under somebody's boot heel. You're going to always be a bottom feeder when you deserve to float on the top. Eat good like everybody else. We are living in dangerous times, just like the representative said, where he isolating America from the world because of his tariffs, because of his disrespect of other governments. He isolating us. I almost think he's a Manchurian candidate put in the power to destroy this country, because everything he's doing, that's what's happening. I might get in trouble for the shit that I'm saying right now, but I don't care. We got to have some kind of accountability in everything in life. You do wrong, people going to say you doing wrong. That's part of being America. Is in our Constitution to have the freedom of speech. We should be able to call it out. Closed mouths don't never get fed. Always remember that. And if you don't know, now you know. I'm going to sign out on that. I would like to thank my son for giving me a battery in my back today to come out here and talk to you good people. And don't worry, I'm going to be back for real. Oh, yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I'm all the way back. Stop playing, okay? This has been You Don't Listen podcast with your boy TP. And yes, I am back in the building. I need all of you people to like, subscribe, and comment. That way I could get pushed up in the algorithm. That way I could start going live. I need y'all to get me to 300. Only need about 14 of those. Can we get that? Can I get some subscribers, please? Help a brother out. All right, let's get the 300, good people. I want to see that by Monday. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Only need 14. All right, so let's do it. I wish nothing but peace to all of you on your journey In this crazy world we are living in today, the Lord knows we all need a little peace, right? So let's do it. But we ain't gonna give no peace to the ones that ain't giving us none. We gonna give them hell. All right? That's all I got. See y'all in the next one. Deuces. I'm out.
This is Young TP. You are listening to your Don't Listen podcast. Stop playing.